Okay, welcome back, everyone, and Ron. And so the next
Thank you.
question we had on our list was from members was when in a 5D state, how do we respect each other's personal sovereignty?
Okay. When you get to be in the 5D state, you're you're responding back to who you really are as a creator. And you will just naturally be living in the, I'm going to say, laws that are associated with sovereignty. You will know that you don't cross sovereignties, that you respect others' sovereignty just because that's who you are. It doesn't have to be taught, it just has to be remembered. And at that state, there's no reason or idea that you would interfere with somebody else. You wouldn't do it. It's like, well, if I'm driving down the road and there's a semi coming the other direction, I'm not going to turn in front of that. Why? Because it'll kill me. Well, that's the same with sovereignty. You don't cross sovereignties because or domains because we just don't do that. We don't do that because that's who we are. We don't do it because we understand the oneness and all that's created by our prime creator, and we pattern our lives and do things accordingly. And creating sovereignty is the important thing that we each have to do. And we know that we don't cross dominions, so it's just part of who we are. Uh,
Okay, well, I'll just go right to the next question if that's okay.
okay,
Great. Ron, what will happen to those who can't or will not move to 5D and want to stay in 3D?
okay, this might put us over. The order of heaven has to do with souls. Uh, there is a soul. We all come from a soul. We are soul extensions from that soul. That's where you get that idea of soulmates uh, as a romantic thing. You're because the soul creates 12 souls, soul extensions, and they each have their own life, and they get to, with the directive of free agency, they get to go out and do what they want to do. The soul works with the soul extension through their inner guidance system. And so if the soul says to you, or this person needs to have a little bit more 3D experience so that they can gain experience. Old souls have what they call the kosh. I don't know how to spell it. It's kosh. And the Akashic record is the record of everything that is part of creation, and each individual has their own set of records. They call it a kosh, and an old soul has more kosh than a young soul. Well, so the old soul gets a chance to, doesn't have to do the things that a young soul has or wants to do because they haven't had the experiences. So in reality, those who do not want to ascend or do not ascend, it's because the soul wants to have them do more stuff in third dimension. And there's no problems with that. It's just the soul's responsibility is to celestialize each of its soul distinctions. And when they celestialize, then they fuse back into the soul. It's the born again experience. It's the baptism of the Holy Ghost. There's all kinds of different words for it. But when you fuse back into your soul, so when you fuse back in, then that means that you have matured and are capable of having souls extensions of your own. You become the prime source. If we look at it as the generations of the gods, you get a better feel for that. And that's the order of heaven. It's all completely, it's perfect. God does things that way. So you as a soul extension might need a little bit more time in a third dimensional experience. So did I say third dimension? Yes, in a third dimensional experience. So they won't be having you, they won't be giving you the spiritual guidance on an individual basis that you need to be able to create the energy to ascend. It won't be there because your soul doesn't want that, it wants something for you that is different. And the soul's responsibility for you is guiding and directing you so that you'll get to the right place and be there at the right time. And those are the kinds of things that the heavens work with us. And so let's just understand there's a lot more to what we're talking about than is given to us in this third dimension because they don't want us. Cabal does not, they do not want us to know these things. Can't control us. No, they can't. And so let's understand that there are things that the cabal has done, and we've got to get out from underneath that thumb on us and start being the creators that we are, the children of God. This is the Christ consciousness. This is the Christ consciousness. That's what Jesus was telling us. You become who you are and then live accordingly. You find out who you are. And that's what he did. He found out who he was and lived the life that he knew was appropriate for him. And he taught others and said, come follow me and I'll take you to the Father. Come follow me, learn who you are. And greater things than I have done shall ye do, because I have my course with my Father. I'm doing the things that my Father wants me to do. Other people have other things to do and other things that they want to do, and they are the creators of the experiences of their life. And it gives them the opportunity. There is nobody in charge of you except your soul. There's nobody in charge of you. You are the creator, free agency. You create what you want. If you wanted to go to the 16th dimension, you create it. If you want to go to another Earth or something like this, see what's available. See what somebody else, collaborate with them and see if you want to do something like that. That's what we're looking for. We're out there looking for the fun things to do. That's what we're doing. That's what creators do. And in their creations, they find joy because they're creating something out of nothing. It's not out of nothing. There's a whole series of stuff that goes on with that. But let's just let that be true. Don't fester over it or don't be overly concerned about it. Don't ever go into fear. You'll always be where you're supposed to be at the right time. And because that's who you are, is creating where you're supposed to be at the right time according to what your spirit wants you to do or your soul wants you to do. It's all
right.
beautiful. There.
Oh, it's
There we go.
outstanding, Ron. Outstanding, outstanding. And we will come back and finish up this section. Thanks.
You're welcome.